Talking with the experts.
Are you creating content that converts? Tanya Kabuya in episode 299 explains how it's done.
True. So true. If people don't know you, people don't trust you. So you want to share exactly how you are, who you are. And there was an episode recently on my own podcast where I spoke about to not code switch. Because a lot of times people come online and believe that they have to code switch. They have to show up as somebody that they're not. If you are a jokester, show up as a fun individual that you are. If you are a person that is that likes to do certain things, show up as you are. If you like hanging out with family and friends, show those things, show those aspects of you that people don't just see the well-crafted image that you put out, but they see that you are human. You're just like them. You hang out with your friends, you hang out with your kids, you go to your kids' game, you go to your kids' training. These things that we think we shouldn't share on our professional profiles actually are what will help you with conversions.
Welcome to Talking with the Experts. This is where we discuss great ideas to take your business to the next level. How do we know these ideas work? Well, it's because we're talking with business owners who are using these ideas. Business owners who have years of experience and expertise. All things business by business owners for business owners. And now, here is your host, Rose Davidson.
Hello and welcome to Talking with the Experts. I'm your host, Rose Davidson from rosedavidson.com. Talking with the Experts is about all things business by business owners for business owners. You can find it on all good podcasting streaming platforms and on YouTube. And today my guest is Tanya Kabuya, and we're going to be talking about content that converts. And Tanya works with people of influence such as authors, coaches, speakers, and entrepreneurs to amplify their message and increase their impact while staying true to their core. Welcome, Tanya, and thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you so much for having me today, Rose.
So what constitutes great content?
Oh, that's a wonderful question. To actually explain this, I actually have to go a little bit back. When I started out online, we were told you need to create content. So I started pumping out content. And one of the things I realized that I was online 24/7, pumping out content, and it wasn't moving the needle. I wasn't getting clients. It was crickets. And that got me on a journey to figure out what actually is great content. And what constitutes great content is essentially you walking your people, your prospects, your future clients through their buyer's journey. A lot of times, we think that to be seen as an expert, to be seen as a thought leader, you have to pump out a lot of tips, guides, do this, how to content. What that creates actually is that you don't attract buyers. You attract people that are a whole lot of do-it-yourself, DIYs, and if your aim is to attract clients, you end up hurting yourself. However, it does have a space in your whole content creation journey, but it shouldn't be the bulk of what you do. And that's essentially what I now teach my clients, that how to content is part of the journey. It's part of creating that brand and creating that trust. However, there are certain missing pieces that you have if you just create how to content and then you don't end up getting clients.
Well, that makes a lot of sense. So I guess if you were to craft the perfect marketing message, what might it be?
The perfect marketing message actually comes from within. A lot of time people think that, no, it's out there. There's a lot of strategies. I can just take that. However, one thing I've learned is that it comes from music. It comes from alignment. And I believe I have a system that I call the 3 layers content system. And we've seen that actually touch a lot on mindset, because in order for you to have a well-crafted, potent message, there has to be alignment. There has to be alignment within. So it has to be where you believe that what you are saying is important, and your energy has to be that, okay, this is what I am here for, this is my purpose. And then the strategy is just that. It becomes, I call that the holy trinity of content, where those 3 will help you now direct your message in a way that attracts. Because when you are in alignment, the 3 layers are in alignment, then when you speak, the people that need to listen to you will listen, because you are being true to yourself, you are being true to your core.
Yeah. So what are these 3 layers?
Okay, the 3 layers are, you have your how-to content. Then you have your content that is aimed at inspiring, letting people know who you are, where you've been, your stories. And a lot of times what I see a lot of experts do is that they only use the glamorized story, the story where they feel that this is what people want to hear. And sometimes they overuse the struggle story. The reality is people want to know, who is Rose? Who is Tanya? What is Tanya? Is Tanya real? Is she a person like me? Because if you're constantly sharing stories where you are constantly winning, people put you on a pedestal and they are like, oh, wow, she can do that. I can't, because this is what I believe in. And one thing I did, I think a few months ago, I shared a story where I shared how I struggled with imposter syndrome and how I walked away from great opportunities because I felt that they had the wrong person. And how at another time, because I had worked with a coach on mindset, when an opportunity came knocking, I could catch myself. And I got so many emails from my subscribers that, oh my gosh, that resonated with me. I've counted myself out so many times. It felt so human. So the more you share stories of your own internal struggles, the more people can relate, can be like, oh my gosh, this person can mentor me because they are so like me. These are the things I've struggled with. These are the things I would love to get over. But I always felt that I was alone. So I'm not alone. And here's somebody that has overcome that. And it's not always the financial wins that we need to share, but it's also those internal struggles. And then eventually you have your beliefs. What do you believe in? What do you think that the industry is doing wrong, that you feel that they shouldn't be doing? What do you feel? What do you think that people should be doing now, and that they might be, that the industry is changing and they might be staying behind? Those things are things you want to start sharing as an expert, because then it's like, oh my gosh, this person is ahead of the curve. I want to follow, and eventually I want to work with this person.
Oh, okay. They're very good layers, very good tips, very good strategies to be using to get your message out there. Tanya, do you have anything else that you'd like to share with us today?
Well, the one thing I always say is a lot of times when I work with people, there's this belief that, oh, I don't have an audience, I'm not big enough to start speaking. And the thing is, you might see my audience today, but there was a point I felt like I was preaching in the desert. I felt like I was John the Baptist in the desert screaming, and there was nobody listening to me. But the more you are consistent, the more you stay true to your message, the more you share and you show up, people will start paying attention and people will start following, will start wanting to work with you. Everyone that you see today started with 0. Nobody starts with 100. Everybody starts at 0. The key is to choose to start and not wallow in what you can't do, and start with what you have. You don't have to start with the best equipment. Start where you're at with what you have. That's basically what I like to share.
Yeah, it's a great tip too, because you're right. Everyone starts at 0, and we all have to move our way up, whether it's slowly or quickly. But there's always got to be a strategy behind it, and oftentimes the message that you're sharing out to the world is, it is really important that people get to know you before they even want to think about buying from you.
True. So true. If people don't know you, people don't trust you. So you want to share exactly how you are, who you are. And there was an episode recently on my own podcast where I spoke about to not code switch. Because a lot of times people come online and believe that they have to code switch. They have to show up as somebody that they're not. If you are a jokester, show up as a fun individual that you are. If you are a person that is that likes to do certain things, show up as you are. If you like hanging out with family and friends, show those things, show those aspects of you that people don't just see the well-crafted image that you put out, but they see that you are human. You're just like them. You hang out with your friends, you hang out with your kids, you go to your kids' game, you go to your kids' training. These things that we think we shouldn't share on our professional profiles actually are what will help you with conversions, because people will see like, oh, she's a family person, I'm a family person, I like these values about her, I'll work with her. So we need to stop hiding and stop code switching. Show up authentically as you.
Absolutely. I totally agree with that. I mean, I don't know where I'd be if I was to pretend that I was something that I wasn't. It's difficult for me to do that, but I know that it's not difficult for others. They have one face or one mask for the public, and then they have a different face for, behind the camera or behind the business or whatever. And yeah, so I don't know how they managed to keep up with all of that.
I did that.
Changing.
I did that for a long time. And then eventually I was like, I can't. And a lot of people in my audience know, I share that I'm a shy person. I'm an introvert. And what I do does require that I prepare myself mentally. And even this morning I shared, I'm getting on a podcast today and I'm really nervous. I'm excited and I'm nervous and I'm preparing myself mentally. And these things are what helps people identify with you. So if somebody in your audience is an introvert and they'll be like, oh, Tanya said she's an introvert. Well, she's able to show up like that. Then that means I'm also capable of doing that.
Absolutely.
That's how you start propelling your message, because people are like, she is just like me.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yep. Totally agree. Tanya, where can people find you if they want to work with you?
Well, you can find me on Instagram. I'm usually quite active on Instagram, or you can join my Facebook community, Online Business Entrepreneurs, Course Creators and Coaches. And that's actually the one platform where you get to interact with me the most, because I'm really in there a lot of times because I like hanging out with my people. I like creating those conversations. So that's where you can find me. But you literally can find me on YouTube, Instagram, LinkedIn. I'm all over. You will find me there.
All right. And so your website is witsdigitalacademy.online.
Yes, my website is witsdigitalacademy.online. And we currently have an upcoming workshop, and these will become a course much later. You've got clients. And if anybody wants to join that program, it's a 4-day coaching experience. Yeah. Come and join us and enjoy the party and see how you can get clients. online.
Yeah. Oh, don't we all want to get clients?
Yes, we all want clients.
Tanya, it's been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for joining me today and sharing your messaging on messaging.
Thank you so much for having me. I really enjoyed this conversation. Even though
You've been listening to Talking with the Experts, hosted by Rose Davidson. Make sure you have a look at our back catalogue over at talkingwiththeexperts.com. And be sure to subscribe to our podcast so you don't miss out on any episode. We look forward to your company next time. Talking with the Experts.